The Fall, written by the French author and philosopher Albert Camus in 1956, is a novel that delves into the philosophical concept of absurdism. This worldview asserts that life lacks inherent meaning or purpose. The story is narrated in the first person by the main character, Jean-Baptiste Clamence, who shares his life story over a series of 5 days with an anonymous stranger. Throughout the novel, The Fall explores several themes, including the struggle to find meaning in a seemingly absurd and meaningless world, the nature of innocence and guilt, and the sense of alienation in the post-World War II era. Clamence's narrative also draws parallels with the biblical story of the fall of man, emphasizing the heavy toll of the atrocities committed during World War II. The novel employs an ebook version of the 1956 Vintage Books edition, translated by Justin O'Brien. The story begins in a dingy bar called Mexico City in a downtrodden part of Amsterdam, where Clamence engages in conversation with an unnamed fellow Frenchman. He often addresses his interlocutor as Monsieur, Sir, and cher ami, dear friend. Clamence orders a drink for his friend and then launches into a monologue about his views on humanity and the bartender, whom he derogatively refers to as an ape. He also looks down upon the inhabitants of Amsterdam, considering himself and his friend superior due to their French and bourgeois backgrounds. Clamence draws comparisons between the city's concentric layout and the rings of hell in Dante's Inferno. The novel is set in the aftermath of World War II, with the Jewish quarter's original residents displaced and murdered during the Holocaust. As the men leave the bar and embark on a walk, Clamence describes the city's multiculturalism. They part ways near the red light district, known for its sex workers and distinctive red lights and curtains. Clamence suggests that his friend patronize one of the women working there. In the subsequent chapters, Clamence and his friend continue their walks, with Clamence discussing various topics. He reveals a haunting incident involving a mysterious laugh he heard while smoking alone one night, which plunged him into a state of depression that he tried to alleviate with stimulant drugs. Clamence expounds on his views about slavery, asserting that it is deeply ingrained in human nature, as people inherently seek power, regardless of whether they are oppressors or the oppressed. Clamence also expresses his need for dominance and conquest, particularly concerning women, revealing misogynistic attitudes. He recounts a disturbing incident where he did nothing to prevent a young woman from drowning herself off a bridge, an event that continues to haunt him. In Chapter 4, Clamence and his friend visit the island of Marken, where they contemplate the sea. Clamence believes that life revolves around avoiding judgment while judging others as much as possible. He describes his descent into debauchery, seeking to dominate his memories. Clamence even contemplates suicide to spite his friends and colleagues, whom he believes mock him. He turns to debauchery, engaging in daily sexual encounters and heavy drinking to escape his sense of emptiness. In Chapter 5, Clamence and his friend ride a boat back to Amsterdam, and Clamence reflects on distancing himself from society. He projects the mysterious laughter onto his friends and colleagues, whom he believes are laughing at him. The traffic incident and the drowning woman make Clamence realize that his life lacks meaning and that success is meaningless. He becomes immersed in debauchery to feel immortal and dominate his memories. Clamence even suggests that not even Jesus was innocent and allowed himself to be crucified to escape his memories. He claims to have the only solution for living with trauma in an absurd world, a solution he promises to reveal later. In Chapter 6, Clamence's friend visits him in his apartment, where Clamence is sick with a fever. He recounts being appointed pope in a German prisoner of war camp, a role he takes seriously, preaching the virtue of slavery and condemning others. Clamence reveals that he possesses the stolen Just Judges painting, a famous panel stolen from an altarpiece in 1934. He derives a sense of superiority from knowing the true location of the real judges, and believing that those who see the replica in the Ghent altarpiece are judged by false judges. Clamence has come to Amsterdam to practice his role as a judge penitent and views his friend as a potential client. He aims to push others into debauchery and the acceptance of slavery. In the end, he reflects on the drowning woman, stating that he would not save her even if given a second chance. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.